Hey, I'm Chiron and this is a tutorial on Circus Park Mission 3. Without further ado, I'm just going to jump into this and then I will explain it in more detail. For the run through, I'm actually going to do two. Essentially, I'm going to run through normally and then we're going to get to the clock tower and then I'm going to split that in two and show off two different routes. The second route will be faster than the first, but it's also a little bit more difficult, so it's up to you what you go for. I do have my advice for the second one. And that advice is to not go for it if you're learning, but because you're going to lose a lot of time failing it. But if you want to go for it, I can't stop you. It is something you can do if you really want to show off. It's kind of cool, but it's only faster if you know the good movement, you know? That's just how it is. So now we're going to go down this slide. We need this Reki egg because we're going to hatch him. And he's going to become a beautiful Reki. So that was a nice start. We're going to go left here. The other route goes right, essentially. We're now going to face this battery and hatch Reki. Making sure that we're standing under his shadow as we do that. You can also know if you hit these if the controller vibrates. And this movement's actually pretty easy. It looks quite scary, but it's actually really quite easy. You're just dash cancelling, egg shooting, and holding towards the battery and shooting Reki. It's pretty easy. And then we're going to do a big blind dash jump, but that big blind dash jump is actually really free, so that's the level. Well, that's the first route, of course. We'll grab the emblem, and then essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut in the route from basically when I get inside that yellow hoop, so you understand the gist of what's going on. The in-game time's going to be probably different because of the section at the start. I cannot guarantee I can get a very similar time, but you just get an idea of what it looks like, essentially. Cool, so let's show off that other route now. Okay, so this is what the other route's going to look like. Instead of going left, we're going to go right. And we're going to jump around this cat, try and make it aggro so it doesn't chase us anymore, which is good, that's what we got. We're just going to aggro the cat so it doesn't get in our way, so we can actually snipe it down over here with Reki. Then I'm going to grab this egg, come to this wall, like so, and we're going to shoot Reki through this wall. Now this angle is kind of precise. This is why this route's quite difficult. You need to get a very precise angle so that you can do this. Basically we just got two shots for one. Now I'm going to shoot Reki at this last battery and jump off. It's like 3 seconds faster, but if you're taking your time to set up those shots then you're going to start losing time over the actual other route. So whilst it's a cool strat, it's definitely only really worth it if you know how to do the movement and you know how to set up the shots quickly. And if you miss a shot then you're going to lose a lot of time. So that's why I say it's not particularly worth going for at the beginning, but I'll teach it nonetheless because, you know, heck, people might want to do it, and I'm not here to stop you, so. Cool, that's the level. Now let's actually break it down. It's a pretty straightforward level, despite the fact that there's like RNG and everything in there, so let's go through it right now. Okay, so the first thing about this level you need to know is that if you walk towards the egg, you'll activate a text box, but we can actually avoid that by going between these two fences here as we go around the trigger, which is cool. However, you do need to know if you were to let go of your egg during this entire puzzle board, you will activate the text box, because I think the text box basically covers this entire puzzle board and little bits from outside of it. So that's just something you need to be aware of. Now let's talk about the puzzle board. Essentially, here we have some tiles. We need to make them all blue, and they go from pink to yellow to green to blue. So that's essentially how we're going to do it. So if you get pink ones, that's considered kind of bad RNG. If you get a lot of pinks, that's quite bad. But if you get a lot of yellows and a lot of greens, then that's pretty good because they change very quickly. Whilst, you know, pink take a little bit more effort. Also bothers me how uneven and unsymmetrical these hearts are, but it's cool. I won't be angry at the game for doing that. So yeah, the best way to make them change colour is to essentially get between like 4 of them and then just go cycle like that, because you can't change the tile by being on it and spinning around. You need to leave the tile and then re-enter it. So yeah, so getting between 4 tiles and then just spinning, just dash and spinning is just like the best way to clear them. So now that we know how we're going to clear them, let's go through the order in which we're going to do it. So we're going to start from this bottom corner and spin through these ones, then these ones, then these ones. Then we're going to come up here, get these ones, and then go to these ones. Then we'll do this corner here, And then we're going to grab this Recce egg because we need it for the upcoming section. So we just grab it there because it's a little bit faster than grabbing the one up there. That's how you do the puzzle board essentially, it's pretty straightforward. Now let's talk about what you're going to do next. So yeah, we're going to make sure to grab these 3 apples as we come through here with the Recce egg, because if we grab them, then we only need 2 enemies up there at a maximum before entering the slide. And essentially if we didn't grab the Recce egg, we'd have to like kill at least 5 enemies and take a little bit longer grabbing the fruit. It ends up just being a little bit faster on average just doing it this way, so we just do it like that. But now we have a green hoop, a blue hoop and a pink hoop. The pink hoop's barely visible up there, but it's up there. And essentially, the blue hoops are the ones that swing back and forth, and the pink hoops are the ones that like do a full 360 circle and swing the same way that blues do. You know, you understand how they work. But yeah, so we can't press A too quickly out of the blue or the pink hoop, or else we will die, and we don't really want that. We press A out of the green hoop as quickly as possible because it's not like it affects our angle or anything like that. We can just press A immediately. So we can egg bounce along to this green hoop, and then we can get to the blue hoop. We don't want to press A immediately, we want to delay our A press so that we can get safely into the pink hoop. And then we just want to press A at the right time on the pink hoop to get onto the platform. Now ideally, the best way to get on that platform is to land between 2 enemies and not get hit. But if you get hit by an enemy, it's fine. Just so you can go probably a little bit earlier and save a little bit of time. But yeah, essentially I don't really have any advice for timing it, it's just going to look like this. So see, I got hit there because I was a little late, but that's fine. It happens, like, it's very hard to time. Let's go through it one more time and show that off. Also, I don't think I mentioned it before, but yeah, this puzzle board is totally RNG, you know. What tiles you get is RNG. So you might get like an amazing tile set that's like really quick, but you might get one that's painfully slow with a lot of pinks. And that was actually a pretty good one, but I messed up the ending, so I'm nice like that. So yeah, the 3 apples, and the timing should look like this if you do it perfectly. So as you see, I land there, don't get hurt. But now that we're up here, what we can do is we can dash forward, then hold back to basically start walking backwards, and we can just hold forward to walk forward and grab 2 fruits, like so. And then we just want to grab all this fruit on this slide, so we want to go to the right, then to the left, and then down the middle. Jump over that fire after the final pineapple, so we don't get hit, and we're going to go through this ring. Now what I'm going to talk about is the left route, which is the one that I showed off first, because that's the easiest one. It's a pretty easy route, so let's go through that right now. So we're going to go into a blue hoop and then into some yellow hoops, and we can just mash A out of this yellow hoop. Most yellow hoops in 80% we can. There's only a couple of exceptions which I think I've highlighted in my tutorial. So yeah, we can mash A on this one, it's fine. I'm going to hold down left and hit this wall, bounce off it, turn around and hatch this egg. And we're going to face this first battery and hatch Recce, because we need to light all 4 of these batteries to finish the level. So if we point Recce at them, press X, he should hit it. It's pretty easy to hit. Like so. And we're going to start dashing our way over here. Now the movement that we do here, I'm actually going to kill this cat so he's not bothering me whilst I explain the movement here. Essentially what we're going to do is we're going to dash. We're going to dash cancel, like by just tapping, putting our stick as neutral, then tapping forward again. Dash cancelling is pretty easy. I've done a tutorial on that, everyone knows how to dash cancel now, or if you don't, please learn how to. I'll link that tutorial in the description if I need to. But once we dash cancel, we're just going to egg shoot, and then say there'll be a battery to our, like, down right of us, so we're just going to press down right, and then press X to shoot Recce. I'm not going to do it right now, because I have limited shots with this animal, so, yeah. Egg shoot, turn around, press X, egg shoot, turn around, press X. It's pretty easy. So, for the first one, we're going to run through these fences. Dash cancel, egg shoot, turn down right, press X. And then here we're going to go to the left of this chick and do the same thing. And then we have a cat up ahead, and essentially we're just going to do the same thing. You might get hit by the cat, but if that happens, that's fine. Just re-grab your egg and try again. I just killed the cat so he's out of the way. Yeah, usually you just want to dash a little bit further past the cat. That's what I would recommend doing. I wish he wasn't there, but that's just how it is. Yeah, as you see, I sort of dashed down right. I'm going to try and actually stop myself from going over the edge here, because that'll be embarrassing. There we are. Okay, cool, I stopped myself. So yeah, we're going to dash jump at this yellow hoop here, because that's basically where the emblem spawns. That's the best visual indicator You also got a sign there, and it's next to where we grabbed this orange egg anyway, so we dash jump off here. We can land down here. It's pretty safe. As long as you just keep pulling forward, you're fine. And what I like to do to land this is I tend to basically just land past the emblem so I can just turn around and grab it. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah, cool. Now I'm just going to show off some backup strats for this route before I explain how to do the more advanced route. So let's do that right now, shall we? Okay, so if you want to, you don't actually have to pick up the Reiki egg here. You can pick up the Reiki egg at the top of the tower. That's what we used to do. But as I said, it's up to you. But what you're going to do is you're going to go up here, do the movement as normal. As I said, if you get hit, it's fine. And then we just need to defeat like at least 5 enemies and pick up at least 5 fruit. Like so. Yeah, and then just pick up all the fruit on the slide. That's just another way you can do it. You can egg shoot to kill all those enemies. Also, if you don't have enough here, you can just kill these enemies and pick up their fruit for backup. As for the tower, I guess the one backup strat I would say you could do is quite simple. Instead of doing the dash cancel egg shoots, you can just do something like this. Let me just hatch Reiki and shoot the first battery. Because first battery should always be the same. It's a free shot essentially. Yeah, so what you could do is you could end your dash, jump, turn around, shoot. Reiki like that, that's perfectly fine. I think that the egg shoot is a little bit faster though, so, you know. And it looks cooler too, so. And as Exlor said, if it doesn't look cool, what's the point, so. Yeah, that's some alternative strats you could do. I reckon you could probably egg bounce down to that last platform, but in fact, let's see if we can, because it's a pretty free jump. So yeah, this is a pretty free jump. As you can see, like I can egg bounce all the way down. The camera's a bit wonky though. So there we are, that's some backup strats for this level. Now let's talk about the advanced strat. There's a few things to talk about before we actually get into it, so I'll meet you guys on top of the clock tower. Cool, so let's talk about Reiki's behaviour first, because we're going to do some weird stuff with Reiki, as you probably saw. Yeah, so the first thing you need to know about Reiki is whenever he hits a wall, he stops. Like that, and then explodes. But, as you can see, I think this is the case with most egg animals, at least all the ones in 80%, you can do this. If you just stand next to a wall and shoot, it'll go through the wall. And until he stops, essentially. But the problem with that is he can go, if you do it as too sharp an angle like this, he can, you know, re-enter the, come back into bounds and then try and go back out of bounds again, so it just stops at the wall. So, essentially how this trick works is we get up here, don't we, and we come over here. We're essentially going to shoot Reiki through this wall, which is going to raise this battery here, and it's going to hit this battery from out of bounds. So it's going to hit 2 at once. But the things we're looking for is we're looking for an angle in which Reiki won't come back in bounds when hitting this one, and we're looking for the right distance so that when he travels all the way over here, he has just enough reach to explode and hit this battery. So this is why this trick's quite difficult, because you need to be in quite a precise angle and position to get this to work. And I believe, like, this would be like too sharp. I feel like this is a good angle, like, see, I'm not sure, but like, I believe this is good. As you can see, Reiki grazes that battery, and I can feel it in my controller. If your controller vibrates, you know you've hit the second battery, and it looks like that. So I guess what we're not looking for is something like this, where he does that. And that would be very annoying if that happens, essentially. So yeah, that's all you need to know about Reiki. Now let's actually talk about the movement on top. So yeah, let's start from here. So as you know, instead of going left here, we're actually going to go right, and this allows us to set up for the double battery strap pretty easily. So when we come out of this hoop, we're going to hold, we're not going to move the camera at all really, we're just going to hold upright and go between the battery and the cat. The cat should notice us and try to attack us, but we should be able to roll quickly past him to essentially avoid his attack and lose his aggro. We don't want the cat to be aggroed because otherwise he will start to chase us and he'll start to get in our way and break eggs, and we don't really want that. So yeah, we're going to hold that right. As you can see, we can dodge the cat and land by this egg. We want to land as near the egg as we can so we can quickly do some movement here. So I've pointed myself at the first battery I'm going to shoot. And essentially I'm going to shoot it and then I'm going to turn around immediately, grab the egg and head to that wall where we're going to do the 2-shot strat. So it's going to look like this. You can hear the vibration in the controller, so I know I got it. Now essentially we're going to stand roughly on this line here. And we're going to have the camera like this. I guess the way to tell if it's good or not is if this this glowing wall inside, out of bounds is quite visible. If it's like half visible like this, and you hold forward, then this is a pretty good angle. So if we stand on this line and we shoot Reki here, we can do it like this. The one thing you just need to know is that, yes, if you took your time to line this up, you're losing time over the other route. So this is why I'd say it's quite difficult. It's very hard to YOLO it because it's hard to come in and go, turn around. Is that good? Nope. Okay, now I can shoot Reki. Because if you miss, then it's really, really devastating for you. So. Because you have to go around here and you have to go hit that battery and then you're all out of sync, all out of order. It's kind of wacky, but that's just the way it is. But yeah, once you've shot Reki, you're going to start coming over this way and essentially you're going to park your egg here, turn around. You don't want to face the battery like this because Reki will most likely hit this wall. You kind of want to aim to the left a bit like this. And that'll essentially allow Reki to hit the battery like so. And that's basically how you do the double battery strat in super slow motion. If you speed up all that movement like I did in the example, then yeah, you can get a pretty nice time with this. But yeah, I think that's a tutorial. I mean, right after this jump, it'll be the end of the tutorial after we grab this emblem, I guess, because yeah, after you shoot Reki, you're going to jump off. But I wouldn't jump off if you're unsure it's going to miss, because if you get down here and it misses, then oh dear, that's bad. So yeah, that's the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I've been Kyrone. Please follow me at twitch.tv/Kyrone. And actually, no wait, there is actually a update. Because when I was recording this, a new strat has just been found, and I have actually recorded a little section on it as to put into the post. So let's go to that right now, and then I think I outro it there, but if I don't, then you've seen all my other outros, I don't really need to do it. So this just in. Christian has found a consistent setup to do the RNG board skip. This is going to be as a tutorial and it will look like this. This setup is kind of slow, but we'll break it down. 1, 2. And we just skipped the RNG section. But now we don't have a Reki egg, so we have to actually do something like this. And yeah, as you can see, we're on the slide like 20 seconds. With no cutscene and no text box, which is roughly in like an IL setting. That's going to be like, that's the equivalent of like being on there at like a 16 essentially, or 17. It's pretty insane. So let's break down how you actually do this trick. Okay, so first of all, we're going to skip the text box by, going through there. And we're going to start dashing to the side. We want Billy to be on this side of the egg because it allows us to do things a bit more consistently. Now, you see the bottom side of the shell of the egg? We need it to be touching that, essentially touching that line that divides that brick texture from the grass. And we want the center line of it to be roughly lined up with that line that's going through it, right? Or like just right below it, essentially. From here, we're just going to hold forward into the sign. You can turn the C stick ever so slightly if you need to make adjustments, but don't turn the analog stick. And then we're just going to hold forward and roll like this. Now we're going to delay the roll a bit. And the reason why we're going to do that is for some reasons that I need to explain. For example, if you try and roll right away, you might find that you won't be able to recover. And the reason why that is it's hard to explain. Also, you need to make sure that roll angle is correct because it is quite a precise roll, and using the camera as much as you can there will help. But yeah, essentially you roll at a sort of an angle, Or you'll land on it when, like, your roll hasn't got much momentum that you just won't be able to, like, recover. If you roll with a bit of momentum, for some reason you can recover, and it's a bit weird. And you get most of the momentum from starting the roll close to the ground, so you need to make sure you're doing that. Like... That wasn't a good example, that still rolled at an angle. So yeah, I recommend, like, turning the camera a lot whilst you do this. It's still very difficult to do, but it's a lot more consistent than it was, that's for sure. And then... So yeah, like that. If you hit it like that, it's good. And you just want to make sure you keep jumping up here, because like it's very hard to control your egg up here. And as you can tell, I'm like struggling. If you jump, it's a lot easier. The rush takes about 2 jumps to get up there. And also, if you let go of your egg, you're kind of screwed. You kind of have to like go grab a different egg. So yeah. Also, if you get on the back of the egg, I might not be able to get this right away because it does work on the back of the egg. But I have found that like you sometimes just drop off the egg like that. That's a perfect example of why I don't do that. And if you're on the front of the egg, I believe you'll probably just let go of the egg. Let me try it like that. So you want to be on the side of the egg, ideally, and of course being on the left side would make the most sense. Yeah, as you see, I just let go of the egg and I'm now eggless. I reckon this would save about 4 seconds RTA, which I think is a pretty good time save at top level. I wouldn't go for this if you're like learning, because it is quite precise, but it's definitely something that you can start doing. As you can see, I'm getting pretty good at it. Like, I only just started doing this like 10 minutes ago, so I'm a bit on the rust. Yeah, I don't think going for the strat grabbing the Reki egg is actually worth it, so that's why I don't do it. I feel like for this to save time, you need to just do it immediately and then pray for good enemies up top. So, that's the RNG skip, or the board skip, I don't know what we're going to call it yet. But thank you, Christian, for finding that setup. I mean, I'll be honest, because like, that setup, like that trick isn't like new, but that setup is. Because we used to do it, I used to do it roughly from this point here. I'm not exactly sure where my bearings were on this one. It's something like that, essentially. But, doing it with this lineup is so much more consistent because you can actually see the ground a lot better, and the only, I would say, the difficult part is just the angle of the approach is a little bit harder, but if you get used to it, it's pretty easy. So, yeah, I've been Kyrone. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Yeah, if you haven't done so already, please follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Kyrone, and heck, even if you don't want to, at least join the Discord so you can discuss speedrunning with the boys. That will be in the link. Also, you might not realise this, but it's actually the last This is actually the last tutorial that I've recorded, so we're finally free. I can finally actually start editing these and putting them together, which is really cool. So, I've been Kyrone. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely day, everyone, and I'm gonna see you when I inevitably do more daily content, I guess. See you, boys.